because I don't want anything to interfere with His presence.
因為我唔想有任何嘅嘢去攔咗天父嘅同在。
I'm going to end with this story.
我最後咧會用一個嘅故事嚟到去結束。
Last year we went to Wales.
舊年咧我哋去到呢一個嘅英國嘅威爾斯，有冇人去到威爾斯啊？有個係有啲人。
And we had flown in that night.
咁我哋一個晚上去到啦。
And Bill was speaking that night.
當時候Bill 牧師分享。
And we were tired.
咁我哋好攰。
I was tired.
係我好攰。
I do jet lag, he doesn't.
我咧就會有時差，不過佢冇嘅喎，唔知點解。
And we got into the meeting and we were sitting on the front row.
我哋去參加聚會，坐喺第一排。
And Bill was preaching.
Bill 喺度分享。
And to be honest with you, I was so tired.
坦白講，我當時真係好眼瞓。
All I could think about was going back and getting into the bed at the hotel room.
我乜都諗唔到，淨係不停喺度諗，快啲返房瞓啦，快啲返酒店。
I wasn't paying much attention.
我當時都唔係好留意佢講乜嘅。
But Bill, at the end of the service,
但係喺最後咧聚會嘅時候，阿標牧師咧
he had everybody stand.
就要我哋每一個人都企起身。
And he gave them something to pray about.
跟住佢叫我哋有啲嘢要去祈禱喎。
And I don't remember what it was.
我都唔記得要祈啲乜㗎啦。
Because I wasn't paying attention.
因為當時我根本就冇留心聽佢講嘢。但係
when they began praying corporately together,
當大家一齊去祈禱嘅時候咧
I heard something in the room.
我喺個房間裏邊聽到一啲聲音。
And I was sitting there in my chair thinking, what is that noise?
我就坐喺個凳嗰度諗緊咩聲嚟嘅咧
I had heard it before.
之前聽過
But I couldn't figure out what it was.
但係諗唔起係啲乜嚟嘅。
And so he had everybody stop.
所以佢叫每一個人都停低。
And he gave them something else to pray about.
跟住又再叫大家為其他嘢祈禱。
And they lifted up their voices again.
大家又一齊開聲去禱告。
And began praying corporately.
開始一齊去祈禱。
And I heard the noise again.
我又再聽到嗰個聲音。
Still could not figure out what it was.
仍然諗唔起究竟係啲咩聲。
Bill had them stop and he gave them one more thing to pray about.
跟住標牧師又叫大家安靜落嚟，又再為另一樣嘢去祈禱。
And as they lifted their voice a third time,
當佢哋第三次去禱告，一齊禱告嘅時候
I heard the noise and I knew what it was.
我聽到嗰個聲音，我就知道係咩嘢啦。
I had heard it before.
我以前聽過嘅。
And it sounded like 100 birds in a tree squawking.
嗰個聲音就好似有100隻雀仔喺個樹上面一齊叫。
Have you ever heard that before?
大家有冇聽過呢啲聲啊
The noise?
嗰種嘅噪音，嗰種嘅聲音。
Well, that's what it was. Every time the people would pray.
就係咁啦，每一次當啲人祈禱嘅時候，我就聽到呢個聲音。
And I was just thinking about that, and Bill walked down and stood in front of me.
跟住當我喺度諗緊嘅時候，阿標就行到去我面前。
And I said, it sounds like birds in here.
我話我聽到好似好多雀仔聲喎。
And he said, I was just going to say, it sounds like birds in here.
跟住我就係想同你講，我就聽到好似雀仔聲喎。
I said, okay, God, what are you trying to say?
跟住我就好啦，主你究竟要講啲乜咧
Whenever the Lord speaks to me in threes,
當每一次神咧係用3次咁樣去同我講嘢
I try to listen to what he's trying to tell me.
我就會好認真咁樣去聽下究竟佢想講啲乜。
So we ended the meeting and we went back to our room.
所以我哋聚會完咗，返去房間。
And right before I got into bed, I got on my Facebook.
喺我瞓覺之前咧，我就上 Facebook 啦。
And I typed in,
我就打入去。
what does it mean when birds and trees are squawking?
跟住我就話啦，當聽到呢啲雀仔同埋啲樹一齊喺度叫喺度嘈，究竟係咩意思
And
咧？
I closed my computer and I went to bed.
咁我打完呢一句之後咧，我就閂埋我個電腦，跟住就瞓覺啦。
And when I got up in the morning,
當第二朝我起身嘅時候咧，
opened up my Facebook
又上 Facebook 睇下啦，
to see what people responded to.
睇下啲人有啲咩回應啦。
And there was a lot of funny stuff on
跟住
there.
有好多好搞笑嘅嘢喺上邊。
But there was one guy on there
但係有一個人咧，
that said, I know what that means.
佢就話我知點解啊，
I've actually done a scientific study on that.
因為我曾經咧做過一個科學嘅研究，有關於咁樣嘅聲。
Now, I can't believe that somebody would do that.
我真係唔能夠相信有人會做啲咁嘅科學研究
But
啦。
I was really intrigued.
但係當時咦，我睇到啦，
And he said, this is what they found.
佢話佢哋就揾到呢樣嘢，
That when birds and trees are squawking like that,
就係當喺呢一個嘅樹上面嘅雀仔一齊咁樣嚟到去叫嘅時候咧，
it's like they are actually saying this.
就好似佢哋喺度講緊呢樣嘢，
You can't be here.
就係話你唔可以喺度，
This is not your place.
呢個唔係你嘅地方，
Get away.
走。
And I went,
我就
oh, I get it, God.
神啊，我明啦。
When those people were praying the night before,
當嗰啲人之前一晚喺度祈禱嘅時候，
they were praying things like,
佢哋係祈緊咩禱呢？
this isn't yours.
就係話呢個唔屬於
This
你
isn't
嘅，
yours, devil.
魔鬼呢個地方唔屬於你㗎，
You can't have this.
你唔可以有呢個㗎，
Get away from this.
你走啊，離開啊！
And I just realized, I felt like the Lord said,
跟住我感受到神講，
this is a time for territorial prayers.
佢話呢一個嘅時候就係呢一個嘅要得着地土嘅禱告嘅時候，
That we are in a season of authority.
因為我哋係喺呢一個得着權柄嘅時候，
And God is wanting us to take territory.
神呢要我哋去得着唔同嘅地方，
He's wanting us to take the land.
佢嚟到調教我哋，叫我哋要得着呢個地土，
Aaron took the land.
就好似呢個亞倫佢得着地土。
I may talk about that tomorrow.
我可能聽日會去分享呢一
It's
件
too
事，
long right now to talk
但
about.
係而家唔講咁多啦。
But we're going to pray some territorial prayers right
但係我
now.
哋而家就要嚟到去用得着禱告嘅禱告一齊。
In this time and season of this authority,
喺呢一個神將權柄俾我哋嘅時候，
God is releasing a supernatural hope in people.
神要將一個超自然嘅盼望咧釋放喺佢嘅子民當中。
I told you I was going to end with that story, but I'm not.
我頭先本來話講埋個故仔就講完，不過其實
I'll end with this.
我講埋呢個真係講完㗎啦。
I want to read to you a definition of hope.
我想同大家去分享盼望嘅定義。
Hope is not the sense of optimistic outlook or wishful thinking without any foundation, but in the sense of confidence, expectation based on a solid certainty. Biblical hope rests on God's promises, particularly those pertaining to Christ's return. So certain is the future of the redeemed that the New Testament sometimes speaks of future events in the past tense as though they were already accomplished. Hope is never inferior to faith, but is an extension of faith. Faith is the present possession of grace. Hope is the confidence in grace's future accomplishments.
呢度講到話咧，盼望咧唔係淨係一種嘅樂觀主義，唔係淨係咧冇根基咁樣嚟到咧去希望一啲嘢發生，但係滿有信心嘅期望，係建基於一啲好實在，而且係有聖經為基礎嘅從神而嚟嘅應許。特別咧係有關於基督在內嘅應許，係有一個好大嘅確據喺裏邊，就係知道咧我哋嘅將來咧已經係被耶穌基督所買贖嘅。新約嘅盼望咧，好多時候就係甚至喺新約裏邊，好多時候會講到未來所發生嘅事情係用過去式去講嘅，就好似嗰啲嘢已經發生咗，呢一種就係盼望啦。盼望咧係唔會嚟到去攔咗信心，但係盼望咧乃係信心嘅延伸。當我哋能夠喺現在所擁有嘅事情，我哋站立喺恩典上邊咧，信心就會臨到。而盼望咧就係能夠相信呢一個嘅神俾嘅恩典，會讓我哋能夠去成就將來嘅事情。
This supernatural hope
呢一種超自然嘅盼望。
is not a I hope